Alright, I think we're back. I think we're back. Shui managed to murder our stream. We'll give this an actual, proper shout out to Shui. How's it going, Shui? I didn't manage to catch any of your stream today. I've been super busy today. But yeah, welcome on in, everyone. You've caught us. We were just kind of yapping. We were talking about, rush meta and stuff. We were also going to talk about some speed stuff in a minute. But, hello, Shui. I did see your stream title. You were saying about how you were just vibing. You didn't know what to say. But how did the stream go? What did you play? What happened? I'm guessing you were probably doing some ladder? Probably just ISP or something, I guess. Yeah, it's unfortunately my internet can get a bit spotty. Can get very spotty. But, whilst we wait for that to kind of sort itself out, I vibed with Striker to Cog, apparently, lol, faced 99% Despia. Do you have a good win rate against Despia with Striker then? I don't really know how good Striker is in the current format. Obviously, there's a lot of people that have Striker as their pet deck. A lot of people, so... I mean, we've basically just been yapping. We've been talking about stuff that we think is going to happen, like potential, meta stuff going on in Worlds, as well as what we think is going to happen after Worlds. No more rush, move on to the next KC Cup. We already know about the next KC Cup, though. What is there to say about the next KC Cup? Yes, if I go second... if I go first, I need Despia. Or it's Troll Despair. I need Princess. Ah, I see. Well, just always open Princess then, right? Easy. Easy peasy. Just always do that. Hey, Stream Elements is back. Yeah, the other thing I did want to talk about a little bit is... the tier list. Specifically for speed. So we have just had Despia get bumped up to tier 1. And obviously Shadow's up here as well. Which is fine. We should also probably change this so it makes it a little bit easier to process. I don't know how I feel about the current meta. If I'm being completely honest. I think there's some okay stuff in this meta, but there's a lot of rough stuff in this meta. Despia is... I don't know. I think both Tax Dragon and the first Dark Lord are kind of toxic. I think they're both kind of rough, which makes it Shadow is a very difficult deck to play and play against, at least in my experience. So, I'm also, it's cool, but it can be a bit frustrating. Tier 1 Floodgates, Tier 2 Rush to Win, Tier 3 others. Well, Speedroid is a weird deck as well, because Speedroid is kind of just you can do a lot of stuff turn 1 with Speedroid. You could just set up, was it Clear Wing? Is it Clear Wing Crystal Dragon? And then there's just Crystal. The issue is they have so many, bosses that will have the same flipping name. You can get Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. You can get Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. And then you have Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. So you have all of these just guys. The deck just kind of feels like you just turbo those out over and over again. IRS Dragon is rough. Gustamy Tier 2, maybe, I don't know. I haven't really seen much Gusto, so I don't really know. Crystal Clear Wing. Gusto will out meta. I mean, that's good, I guess. Play 3 non-fusion area max, and the cup's super easy. I mean, I guess, right? We have fusion deck, fusion deck, fusion deck, synchro deck, fusion deck, synchro deck, Xyz deck. It's actually interesting. We only actually have one dedicated Xyz deck. Gusto off of the tier list entirely. I haven't seen the deck at all the past few weeks. Well, I think a big part of it is everyone is like loving Despia right now, so everyone's just all over that. Like I say, I haven't played against Gusto, like, at all. I've played against, like, constructed Gusto and TCG. I haven't played against this, so, like, I have no idea how this performs. Utopia is so stupid, I hope it will nerf the next KC. I mean, potentially, right? It's... I don't really like Utopia. It's down here, in case anyone can't see it, it's under the camera. But at the same time, the only thing I think Utopia does that's, like, really, really annoying is this guy. Because his, like, the negate on this card works in, like, a really weird way. So I don't like it. Other than that, I don't really care. The other stuff I don't like Lava Golem, but, like, that's not a unique issue that only Utopia has. But maybe it's just because, again, the decks I play don't get beaten by Utopia too badly, right? Utopia Tier 2 has been doing a bit better since Speedroids. It's gone down and people are dropping Nib. Well, that's good. Still broken board ever, super consistent. Every time I hear a take from you, I always assume the opposite is true. Because you had good sense, you change your smoke detector battery. I love how that's where you go. It's always the smoke detector. It's always the smoke detector. I've been changed it like a month ago. There we go. Serena has managed it. We have successfully changed the smoke detector battery. Glue spray deck. The thing is, you need to have glue decks. There needs to be glue, right? There needs to be a deck that is so unbelievably easy, anyone can play it. That is very important for the health of a card game. And just right now, it's Utopia. When Utopia eventually goes away, something will take its place and be the new glue deck. That's just how it's going to go. But, like, I don't know. All right. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Y'all feel free to give me your opinions on this, right? Shadow, in my opinion, this is like, when played correctly at a high level, Shadow is probably the hardest deck here. Again, feel free to shit on that opinion if you think it's, like, massively wrong. But, like, Shadow is a deck, and I think Despia is in a similar boat here, where you can play these decks in a real brain-dead way. You can play Shadow, just turbo out Winder, and just win on that. Despia, you can just turbo out Tax Dragon, you can just drop the first Dark Lord, wipe your opponent's board, and win without much thought. Both of these decks can be played, like, in a very simple way and get wins. But I think when played at, like, the highest level, I do think these two decks are probably the hardest decks here. But again, feel free to, like, disagree with that. Mark my words, when Utopia is gone, Glue Eyes will return not long after. Well, it depends, right? Because Glue Eyes has a shit ton of new support, like from that new structure deck they got. And if you think about it, Resonators became big because we got a load of support from the Resonator structure deck. So they could do exactly the same thing with Blue Eyes. Just give us a load of support from that. It took me like 30 mins because I didn't know how to fix it. Yeah, both decks not aggressive like Utopia. Yeah. Sounds about right. At least you know how to do it. Blue Eyes is high skills. I mean, Blue Eyes is very simple. Very, very simple deck. But let me have Ancient Gear. Ancient Gear is... I haven't really played against it a lot. Again, it's one of those decks where I just don't have a lot of experience with it. Jaden and Kyber carry the glue department. Apparently so. It's just because their decks are, like, so beloved, right? And I think that's what makes sense, is you want to take the big anime, like, big fan servicey decks and make those really easy. High skill on how to press the yellow button. 3 negate, 1 counter trap negate, and rank 4 down. I mean, they'll always be, like I said, they will always be good. It makes sense for Konami to want there to be some very easy decks. It just does. It always makes sense. Hello. Ooh, how are we going with that? Pentazala code? Pentazol code? Fentazalo code? Fent. Hello, Fent. I love complex decks, but I'll always be a Blue Eyes fan. Can you blame? Blue Eyes attack Bursto Stream. I mean, it's one of the... I think at the end of the day, you should play whatever deck you want to play, right? Now, some people might hate you, and some people might love you, depending on what deck you play. Like, I personally, I will always have a soft spot for anyone that has a pet deck. If anyone shows up to a tournament, and they will always bring their deck, regardless of how bad it is in the current meta, I will always have a soft spot and appreciate that. So, like, there are some players in the community that just always play their deck. There was, I can't remember who it was. There was a player who would always play Fossils. There was a player that would always play Gimmick Puppet. Blue Eyes and Crustrons on my pet decks. Well, the thing is, it's a weird one where... Is Blue Eyes a pet deck? I get what you're saying, right? It's a deck you'll always go back to. It's a deck you're always really fond of. But it's so popular that it feels like almost it's not a pet deck. It's just like playing like the standard deck everyone plays. Dr. Dino. Yeah, Dr. Dinosaurio. Yeah, I know it's complicated, my name. Only Fente is enough. If Fent... Is that Fent or Fente? That's the next question. I would go Fent, but I don't know. I usually bring my pet deck and a bad attitude to every tournament. True, that's what we do. The thing is, if anyone's pet deck ever does anything, everyone always gets really excited. It's like if Brian enters a tournament and he like took Starry and then he won like a single game, everyone would be like, yeah, go Brian, yeah, Starry best deck, woo. But it would just be, it's hype. It is hype when a pet deck does well. It is. It's really cool. Because, like, no one expects it to do anything. But, like, if anyone shows up with Despia to a tournament, it's like, neat, I guess. That's why I liked playing the Dinosaurs, I think, as well. Because, like, the Dinosaurs was sort of a pet deck. Like, enough people were playing Dinosaurs where, like, it was seen. But, like, it wasn't, like, a super standard list. Like, usually I would enter a tournament, it would be like, there is 1 or 2 Dinosaur players. Why Shadows are still tier 1? Because it's really good. I mean, that's what it really comes down to. So this card here, Alcapo, is really good. We also have Construct, which is really good. If we go and take a look at the skill, we also have Winder, who is really good. Shadow always tier 1 when consistent Winder exists. That's dumb. I mean, yeah. Sorry, I forgot what's our next big event in Duel Links. So next, I mean, it's Wave Scramble, right? It's... Let's go back over here. We have Wave Duel Scramble as like the next event. I don't know if we call that a big event. Because we have this current event is the Akiza Zeizen thing, the Tin Dangler. We have the Tin Dangler event. Then it'll be Wave Duel Scramble. Then it'll be like, I don't know, like something worldsy, probably. I mean, like major event. What do you mean by major event, though, RPG Prince? That's the next question. Close some of the stuff we don't need anymore. Worlds. Yeah, Worlds is in, what, 3 weeks? Just under 3 weeks is Worlds? KC Cup World, New World. So it'll be Worlds, and then at Worlds they will announce the next thing. We do also have a KC Cup that has been announced. I mean, it's in game. I can just look at it quick. The next KC Cup is 10th of September. Like, is when it like actually starts or whatever. I believe that's what it is, based on this information they've given. Akira, Tiger. Well, Tiger's late August, so that will be coming out probably around Worlds. Akiza is the mentally unstable walking pair of cartoon breasts. Yeah, but she's really cool. She's a really cool character. If you were to tell me, right, I could either hang out for a day with the Tin Dangler or Black Rose Dragon Lady. I don't know how to tell you this. I'm hanging out with Black Rose Dragon Lady. That's just how that's going. Apparently we're getting Joey's sister as an unlockable, said from VA. We're going to get Serenity Wheeler. That's... I mean, that's not far-fetched, realistically. It's a bit weird, but, like, yeah, I get it. The thing is, she played, what, one duel, I want to say? And that was in... Was that against Nesbit of the Big Five? And she played, like, Guardian Angel Joan as, like, her boss monster. Not Guardian Angel Joan. The other Joan. The Joan in Night form. Who will be your vote for Worlds? For Speed, I'm probably going to go all in on Paris. For Rush, ooh, Rush gets difficult. I mean, I think Parko is a strong contender. I think Giorfio is a strong contender. I think Zenzo is going to be a strong contender. Quantum, obviously, he's already won once. Like, Bro could just take the back-to-back. It's really difficult. I like the mentally unwell Black Rose Lady too. See, she's nice. The gameplay for Serenity is going to be black screen. We're getting her when she's blind. I mean, potentially. Wait for darts on First World. I am right. You, the top prize is 5,000 gems. I don't know if it's 5,000. I can't remember exactly. Quantum reclaims the crown again. For me, I just want someone from our community to win, right? In terms of my personal, like, who I want to win. As long as it is, what? Giorfio, Parko, Quantum, Zenzo. I mean, I guess one of them four. I don't really know the Japanese players this year. We all know Paris wins Speed. He clearly is the god of Yu-Gi-Oh! The thing is, I know Paris. Like, I chat to Paris quite a lot. And Paris is... He's generally, like, really good at the game. Like, he's generally just, like, really solid. He's very opinionated. Which is, like... I mean, it's fine. But, like, I think genuinely Paris would make a good world champion. I think... I could see him winning. If you guess correctly. Quantum, vote for shortest player in the tournament. Didn't Joey's sister play Stormberg? No. Golden Castle of Stormberg was played... Again, assuming we're talking about Golden Castle. That was played by Leon. Who is the brother of... God, what was his name? The long-haired, pink-haired guy who plays the Valkyries. Quantum will win 40 times so that he can make a deck. I don't think Duel Links will still be going in 40 years, if we're being honest. I just want Parko to make it last past day 1 again. Well, he didn't make it past day 1 last time. That was the thing, right? So if you're saying again, he has to actually do it this time. Ascat played Valk. Did Volt make it again? No, Volt did not, unfortunately. If Volt did make it, I would have voted Volt. I think Volt has such a good mind for card games, right? Volt, he's very open to new ideas. He's very experimental. He likes to play just a ridiculous amount so that he learns, like, all the small intricacies of a meta. Like, there are a lot of people that will just say, like, oh, I'll play a couple hours a week. That'll be fine. Volt is the kind of person that will play again and again and again and again, whilst also testing out new ideas, which I think a lot of players don't do that. A lot of players either ram their head into the wall and barely make any changes to their deck and just slowly learn, and then they'll, like, slowly take a card out here or there, and they'll learn the meta by feel. And then there are other players that are very deck building oriented players. Their entire thing is trying to find the tech no one else knows about. Their whole thing is, I'm going to build a sick deck that is going to be so different from the rest of the meta, and I'm going to be kind of a special snowflake. And I think very oftentimes you get players on either side of that fence. Volt kind of goes down the middle, where I think Volt gets to... He will play a crap ton and come up with the really interesting strategies. And I think that is such a rare quality for a player to have that and still play at such a high level. So like that's why I've always had a lot of respect for Volt as a player. Seto Kaiba, I swear I saw a blonde-haired girl play Stormberg. Blonde-haired girl would be Rebecca, but she doesn't play Stormberg. Or Stromberg. Here's Seto Kaiba's brother. Noah is his brother too. I'm a Seto Kaiba fanatic, take my word. I know I'm saying I want him to last I wanted him to last time and he didn't, but I have my hopes up. Yes, I would love... If Parko wins the whole thing, I would be really, really happy with that. I think Parko is like... He's such a lovely guy. He plays really well. The only problem I have with Parko is I think Parko is not tilt-proof. I think Parko could tilt, and that would let him down on the big stage. I could see him choking. Whereas I think Giorfio is not likely to choke. I think Zenzo's probably used to it. I think Zenzo will probably be fine. Is there any player usually make top 100 KC leave Duel Links recently? That is such a specific thing. I can tell you there's a couple of people from the Rush side. I don't know about the Speed side. What do you think will be the next world on Duel Links? So we were talking about this a little bit earlier. We do have the leak, which is basically, if we go back to this again. We have the leak basically saying we get an upcoming alt styles. And so some people are like, okay, we'll get alt styles. It will just, instead of like a new quote-unquote world, we'll get a bunch of styles. And that does make a lot of sense, right? We could just get like these. We'll get like Yami, Yugi, Seto, Joey, Mai, Taya, Mokuba as like alt skins. And they'll just call that the new big update. They just won't give us a world. We'll just get this like as stuff. Obviously, the more interesting and more exciting things that we could speculate on, filler worlds. Filler would be fun, like the Orichalcos arc, Waking the Dragons, and then you could do like the Kaiba tournament arc, etc., etc. Just do a bunch of filler stuff. You could also do Manga World. That would be pretty fun, but again, it would be really weird because you'd have to like have a whole bunch of new art and stuff put in. It'd be very, very strange to do. The other big one a lot of people want is they want the Chronicles world. So you want to have like, oh, I can unlock Albaz. I can unlock Tri-Brigade. We can unlock Rose and the Sky Striker stuff and have them as like playable characters. That would also be really cool. The more that we've seen though, the more I think we're just going to get some skins. I think it's going to be the boring answer. We're just going to get skins for these characters. Maybe we get a world which is DM filler arcs as a separate world, and these are just like the filler skins for these characters. And then beyond that, they'll then release Raphael, Darts, you know, Leon, etc., etc. They could start doing that sort of thing. And maybe. That's me. I love building my own decks. Nice. That's Rebecca. Sometimes it take your deck from ladder or DLM. Lol, make maybe changes. I mean, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's encouraged, right? In a card game, you should never feel bad about net decking. Net decking is a key part of the game. Some people are quite happy to just take someone else's best deck and use it all the time. Some people just like to be more creative. It's fine to do it either way, right? Becca plays Burn, she duels Vivian, and she plays a Burn Warrior deck. Trust me. Parko, lovely. Must be a different Parko. No, Parko's lovely. What are you talking about? Parko is... He's very charismatic. He's very friendly. Everything you need. Everything you need. I'm not sure if it's Warriors, but for sure it's Burn. Yeah, she plays... I want to say it was like the Gayaki Euro Panda stuff. No, she played Fire Princess, right? Fire Princess Reverse Burn. I think Vivian played the Panda stuff. I might get cooked for this, but Chronicle World sounds very, very stupid. I think it's fine. I think Chronicle World would be fine. The thing is, a lot of people will be very, very excited for it. So, like, Say, oh, Hikari agrees. I like the idea of a story aspect, but the playing with them aspect, yeah, not so much. So so my hot take is, I don't think the Chronicle anime that we've got so far has been very good. And if I'm gonna watch an anime, like actually just watch a show, I would rather watch a show about people playing cards than the story behind the cards themselves. Like, I like watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I like watching, you know, Kaiba throw down with Yugi, right? I like watching Cardfight Vanguard because I like watching people play Cardfight Vanguard, right? That's kind of who I am, right? I like watching shows about people playing card games. When everyone's like, oh, I'm super excited to learn about, like, the lore behind, like, the Albaz stuff, I'm like, that's neat. I don't dislike that. But if you were telling me you're getting this instead of a card game anime, I'd be like, could I just get the card game anime? Like, if you're doing both, that's fine. But if I'm getting one or the other, give me the card games. Luke's will be Dark Luke or the Luke Man. Yugius will be that guy. So I'm expecting this to be the Luke Man and the Yuga Man. That's what I'm expecting. I would like to see that guy, but I'm expecting the Yuga Man. And then he'll just have Skystream, is what I'm expecting. Did you see the Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything video a few weeks back that basically leaked that Konami plans a Yu-Gi-Oh! Rebuild in some kind of a year, either DM or as a whole? So I will say, I did watch that video. That video, so first thing, we should give a shout out to Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, because he is absolutely fantastic. He does some really good streams, he does some really good videos, just like really, really fantastic. His video is a lot of speculation and a lot of circumstantial evidence. So it's fun to speculate, and it's really interesting. I think having a discussion about it should be encouraged, but take it with a pinch of salt, right? People will say whatever they need to in corpo speak, especially to like shareholders, and plans can also change. So yes, I think it would be really fun to see a new Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. Sure, a reboot would be really cool as well. There are lots of different ways they could approach that, and I think it would be really awesome. I just don't want to, like, spread misinformation of saying, like, 100% guaranteed, we're definitely getting this reboot, it's definitely happening at this time, it's definitely going to be a... Like, I'm always kind of err on the side of caution, right? But yes, I have seen it, I'm very excited. If they do a reboot, I would love it so much. I would also, I think my dream would actually be do a DM reboot with the DM characters, but they play Rush Duel. I would love that so much. Now, I might be the only person that wants that, but I want that so badly. I would love that so much. Yeah, like a Human Portuguese Love fan says, Rush DM. That's what I want. That is exactly what I want. I like the idea of the story aspect. Rush DM could be a card game or anime or the franchise as a whole. I think Konami work to build a next game. The thing is, that is Rush. Like, Rush Duel is kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. Now, some people won't like that. Like, some people that play Rush will be like, no, it's not. Some people that play PCG will be like, no, it's not. But it kind of is. It just kind of is. It's their next game. It's... The idea of Rush was to re-simplify it after having, like, 20 years of power creep and feature creep. So they wanted to, like, reset it back to 0, and that's what Rush did. The Luke Man and the Yuga Man. Sky Striker lore was the best lore, showing leggings. 10 out of 10. It was so bad. The Sky Striker one was actually awful. I think that the Albaz ones and the Dogmatica stuff has been better. It's still not great, if I'm being completely honest. Chronicles is only good if you care for the archetype. I don't care for Dogmatica Albaz. I'm waiting for my Soulforce episode where they play instruments all episode. The thing is, I don't think there's any deep lore there, so I think you'll probably get like a one-off, and that'll be it for that. I don't like Chronicle anime, glorified adverts. The only thing me feel like watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Is recognize the cards. I can't imagine many newer players watching it and caring. Yeah, kind of like if you're a nostalgic person, if you just watch the show, you don't play the card game, right? What does Chronicles give you? Like, what do you get out of it? Like, none of it really is relevant to anything that you've interacted with. Like, they're not even like anime archetypes. Like, they're almost deliberately not anime archetypes. Tomato, what's your favorite line from Sevens? This is mine. Sevens star collide to burst with a supernova. You're not ready for this. You're so not ready for this. I mean, I like a lot of the lines. In my opinion, I really like Sevens. I think Sevens is really, really good. I think it is underestimated a lot. But I was thinking about this because recently there was a video put out by Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything. Talking about it earlier. So this is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything video. This is ranking every Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime series. And in this, he goes into talking about the stuff, like the strengths and weaknesses of each of the shows. And obviously this is meant to be subjective, right? Like, he likes what he likes, I like what I like, etc., etc. Oh, we're also in adverts, just to make this even more annoying. So we're going to wait for the adverts to go away, and then we'll continue this thought. Whilst we just wait for the adverts. And while we're waiting for the adverts, we'll have a look over here quick. Perfect. Hopefully our internet won't disconnect again. Oh, we've got another 40 seconds. 40 seconds of ads. And then we'll be back. Reboots be hard for them to do, since gathering back all the voice actors would be kind of hard. I mean, yeah, just offer them money. It's easy. Easy. Rush is basically them saying, okay guys, we went too far. I don't think it's like we went too far. I think it's like Yu-Gi-Oh! As a game. Yu-Gi-Oh! As a game has become a completely different beast to what it was. It is so unbelievably different from every other card game now. And I think they just wanted to have a version of the game that went back to basics. And they did also try it with speed duels as well. And in a certain way, they also tried it with Duel Links. Duel Links was sort of a success for that, for having a simplified version of the game. That's what they should do. I said that would be awesome to watch. Would help get newer players interested and still preserve the old characters. Yeah, I personally would love it. I'd love it. Hot take. Best lore is World Legacy lore. I mean, that's fair. I don't love Rush Duel. I think destroy the identity of the classic game. So the idea behind Rush Duel is that it's meant to re-envision the classic game, but like a little bit faster, right? That's kind of what it is. That's why Rush is in the name. That's why we draw up to 5 every turn. That's why we can summon a bunch of cards every single turn. That's the whole point, is it's meant to be faster. The thing is, if you look at the modern TCG game, it is unrecognizable from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game that we started with, right? Back in when I was like playing the game, going to like tournaments regularly, because I stopped playing in tournaments just after Edison format. So like it was middle of like Synchro era. Playing the game then, quite often your turn would be like set one back row, set one monster, pass. And you look at that compared to the game we have now, and it's already lost its identity, right? The Yu-Gi-Oh! Game we have now is just not the same as the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game we had back then. I would argue that Rush is closer to old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Than TCG is. Personally. Now, again, it's subjective, right? It's always going to be subjective. I was addicted to that solo mission. It really doesn't. I would still like to see a time skip Sevens anime, like we see at the end of Go Rush with them all teens. I think that'd be cool. Give them all their manga decks or something. Yes, I think that'd be really cool as well. I don't think we're going to get that. I think that ship has kind of sailed, but I would really like that. It's the pure essence and identity of Yu-Gi-Oh! They could make an anime out of the World Legacy lore. Amazing. Again, it kind of goes back to the Chronicle stuff, right? Where they could do, but it would kind of just be more Chronicles. So I think if you like Chronicle, you'd like that anyway, and if you don't, then you wouldn't. What identity would he destroy? The classic game is way different than now anyway. Yeah, I agree with what Serena is saying, basically. Yeah, the modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Has 0% to do with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Identity, the essence at the beginning. Rush is them saying, okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is for older players, but how do we get new players? I think it's one of those things as well, where there's this, like, there's a bit of an annoying trend, and that is that Rush is for kids. Now, Rush is for kids, right? That no one's doubting that. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Game was for kids. Pokemon Trading Card Game is for kids. Card Fight Vanguard is for kids, right? All of these card games are made with children as a primary demographic, with the understanding that that demographic is going to expand to teenagers, young adults, regular adults. That's fine, right? Having a target demographic in mind does make sense. The only card game that doesn't really have that target demographic is Magic the Gathering, which very clearly is appealing to a much older audience. The issue is, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Demographic has grown up with the game. The game has now become so much more complicated, so much more complex, like we say, feature creep, power creep. All of these things have changed, where now the modern game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't think is for children anymore. But they want the game, it's still an anime trading card game, they still want it to appeal to children. The downside with that is, I think people that now play TCG have come to the understanding that my game is for the big boys, your game is for the babies. And I think that is a really, like, reductive opinion to have, but it's one that I do see spread quite a lot. And again, there's nothing wrong with not liking Rush because it's not as complicated as Speed, right? Or not as complicated as TCG. Fundamentally, TCG and to a certain extent Speed are going to attract people that are looking for a more complicated game. That is fine. The problem is Rush, in my opinion, it's not like Yu-Gi-Oh! But for babies. It's like, what if Yu-Gi-Oh! Was more in line with Magic the Gathering, more in line with Card Fight Vanguard, more in line with the One Piece trading card game, more in line with the Digimon trading card game, more in line with all of the other card games that just have a much broader demographic, right? So, from that perspective, I see Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG as the odd one out, as being this is the hyper complicated one. Every other card game, including Rush, is just the baseline standard. Like, that's the simplistic version. But they're only simple because Yu-Gi-Oh! Exists to compare it to, right? That's how I look at it anyway. That's my perspective. Fair enough, I can see Yu-Gi-Oh! Making Rush for new players. I mean, yeah, it just makes sense, right? I think, in a lot of ways, they understood that they had kind of designed themselves into a weird point where the TCG has to continuously one-up itself again and again and again. And because it doesn't really rotate out, it just has ban lists, it's going to continue to power creep and feature creep itself. Now, it hasn't been feature creeping as much because they stopped doing the anime. When they stopped doing the anime, they stopped adding extra summoning mechanics in. But it's still power creeping itself again and again and again, right? Rush feels like Schoolyard Yu-Gi-Oh! The bullshit cheating that everyone did. Hey, I summon as much as I want and draw multiple cards. Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, the pure Yu-Gi-Oh! Essence of DM. You know Yu-Gi-Oh! BAM? I never actually played Yu-Gi-Oh! BAM. I've seen Yu-Gi-Oh! BAM. I've never played it. But I do think, if you're about to make the comparison of Yu-Gi-Oh! BAM to Rush Duel, I think that is very reductive, if that's the direction you're going. It's a smart move. That's a dumb take, and sadly spread a lot. Yeah, Rush is for little kids. And well, sorry, the annoying part, the actual annoying part, is Konami themselves are spreading that, right? So, for example, in one of the I think it might be the grand finale of Sevens, they specifically have a scene where, like, there are kids that are, like, playing Goha duels, and they're like, oh, look at these kids playing their Rush duel. And it really did feel like, Konami, why are you, like, shitting on your own game? It just feels really weird. Like, it just came out of left field. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? To be fair, I think the biggest problem for Rush is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Folk are disappointed it's not more standard Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, but something very different from what it is. I mean, yeah, fundamentally, people that like what they like want more of what they like. So, the issue we're going to have is, people that like Yu-Gi-Oh! Already like the game that they're playing. So, trying to get them to play Rush is like why don't you play this much simpler and easier version of the game that you already like and are already invested in? So you're not going to get a lot of like TCG players playing Rush. Then you have other trading card games, right? You're not going to get a lot of like Magic the Gathering players or Pokemon players probably coming over and trying Rush because they're like, well, I already have my game. I don't really need that. Then you have people that would try out a new card game. And they're like, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Already is this, like, established franchise, so I don't really want to, like, jump in, because I feel like I've already missed the boat, even though Rush is, like, a new game, right? So you end up just attracting people that used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel like that's kind of the actual demographic that Rush has been hitting. It's people that played Yu-Gi-Oh! When they were younger, and then stopped because the game got silly, right? Like, some people didn't like it when we got Synchro. Some people didn't like it when we got Xyz. Some people didn't like it when we got Pendulums. Some people didn't like it when we got Links. And they quit the game. I feel like Rush is trying to appeal to those players and be like, hey, all of you people that stopped playing, here's a simpler version of the game. It doesn't have any of those mechanics you don't like. There you go, play this one. Which, like, again, is fine, but it's weird. Because it's like, you're missing out on so many groups of people by appealing to that specific niche. They want to take our cards and their art, but not our game. Well, I think a big part of it makes sense as well, because right now, I would say we're kind of in, like, we're just past Edison, I would say, in terms of, like, timeline comparison of the game of Rush in OCG has now gotten complex enough where you're doing intricate combo turns, where you are having impactful plays, you know, you're not just summon, tribute, set, back row, pass. That's not like the turn. Now you actually have turns of like, right, mill 6, get 2 cards back from the graveyard to my hand, then I'll do this. Well, when I summon out this boss monster, its effect will get me another 2 cards back from the graveyard. Then I can do this and this. Like, you actually have combos. You actually do things, right? There's actually things happening, right? Whereas, again, back when Rush all first came out, it was very simple, right? It was, all right, summon, tribute 2, summon out multi-strike dragon, Dragius, activate Dragius effect, summon, attack 4 times. That's the turn, right? There was not a lot of depth going on there, realistically. And again, that's fine, but like a lot of people, their first interaction with Rush is going to be seeing that level of simplicity and being like, well, that's not super engaging. And to be fair, it's not. It wasn't, realistically. Like, the game got more going when Maximums came out, but even then there wasn't a lot going on, and then Fusions came out and we got a bit more. But in my opinion, Rush got into its like actual stride. It became like really fun when we got Go Rush Fusions, which is kind of where we are right now in Duel Links, because we have got some of these Go Rush Fusions. I want Konami to make a VR game for next generation. I mean, they've been working on that VR experience. It's just not like a full VR game, right? And I think the problem is not very many people have VR. Now, a decent chunk of people have VR, but like realistically, it's like 0.1% of people that play video games actually have VR. So like trying to appeal to that demographic again is probably not a great idea. I think it'd be really awesome. But again, until VR becomes super mainstream, yeah. But what we were talking about before was this video, Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything's video, where he ranked all the different shows. And what I learned was, I personally, whenever I watch a Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, what I really like is the card games themselves. As long as the card games are good, I like the show. The next biggest important thing for me, after the card games, is the characters. If I like the characters, I am more likely to like your show. Then the last thing for me is actually the story. Now, for a lot of people, they probably completely mix those orders up. People are probably like, I don't really give a shit about the card games, I just want the characters. Or I don't really give a shit about the characters, I just want a really good story. For me, I don't actually really care how the story is. As long as the card game is good, I'll have a good time. Then if the characters are good, I'll have a better time. And then if the story's good, right, I'm having a fantastic time, right? Is that how? Genesis, I see in the chat. Hey, they kind of tease that, but it wouldn't sell well. Yes, we'll give a shout out to How. Shout out How _ Genesis. There we go. How's it going, How? Welcome on in. But speaking of card games, will you try the Digimon game that comes out? Maybe. The issue is, my mobile, this thing is ancient at this point. It is so old. I can't play Pokemon Pocket on this. So, because of that, I don't know if it will run. Which means I'd have to emulate. And I've emulated before. I emulated Cardfight Vanguard 0. So, like, I could do that again. But, like, it's like, do I care enough to emulate it? But, like, I'm cautiously optimistic about it. If it'll run on my phone, I'll definitely play it. If not, I'll have to think about it. I think we all want VR that's portable. I mean, yeah, that'd be lovely, right? Doing well, hope you're feeling better. Yeah, we're feeling a lot better. You randomly walk down the street and see a fellow duelist. It's time to duel. Parking. I mean, for that, I think you'd rather have, like, rather than, like, VR, you want, like, AR, right? You want, like, augmented reality where you have, like, Google lenses, which, like, project cards into the actual world, sort of thing. But then I was thinking about my own tier list, right? Because we've done this, like, sort of, but the issue is, I still have a problem, being that I haven't watched 100% of these shows. We started watching Vrains, we did a bit of a watch-along. I've seen a lot of Zexal, but I haven't seen, like, a lot of the good bits. Like, people say the, the Barrian Invasion arc is, like, the best arc in the show. I haven't seen any of the Barrian Invasion arc, like, at all. So, like, it's really hard for me to judge these two shows specifically. But, as for the rest of the shows, again, for me, the most important thing, do they have good duels? If they have good duels, I'm going to rate them higher. If they have good characters, they'll then be rated even higher. If they have a good story, then I'll rate them even higher. Now, the big one, this is what is probably going to, like, this is what's probably going to annoy people. This is going to be the hot take, right? I don't dislike 5Ds. But I think a lot of the 5Ds duels are very weak. I also think that very specifically turbo duels are really lame. Whenever I would watch 5Ds and there would be a turbo duel, I'd be like, I don't hate the turbo duel, but, like, I don't really care for it. Like, there's no, like, the speed spells are kind of lame. Like, them being on the motorbikes is, like, it's fine. Like, I don't hate that. But, like, mechanically, I don't like turbo duels. Like, I have no interest in it. I just have no interest in it. Take that back. I told you it's going to be a hot take. It's okay, and we all love different stuff, and it's okay. The thing is, again, I think the duels in this show, most of the actual duels themselves, kind of mid. I think the characters in the show are actually really good. I really like Jack. I really think Yusei is, like, a really fantastic protagonist. I really like Crow. I think Luke and Luna, like, I think that's their names. I don't, the green-haired twins. I think they're fine. I think some of the side characters are really, really strong in this show as well. And I think the story is fantastic. I think the story in 5Ds is one of the best stories in any Yu-Gi-Oh show. Like, unironically, one of the best stories in any of these shows. But as I said at the start, for me, specifically, my enjoyment of these shows, the duels have to be really, really good. And for me, the duels in this one, some of them are really good. A lot of them aren't. And every time there's a turbo duel, it, like, loses points for me. Take that back, turbo duel is cool. They're just not. I'm sorry. They're just not. It's not cool. The rules are boring. I don't like it. Because it makes it worse because they juxtapose it. They do the exact same thing, by the way, in Vrains. Which is, they have speed duels and they have master duels. And the master duels are sick. Bear in mind, I've only seen one master duel, right? We haven't watched a lot of Vrains. So we're going to talk very sparingly about Vrains. But the master duel we got between Playmaker and Revolver was awesome. It was the best duel in the entire show so far. It was so back and forth. It was really exciting. There was lots of tension and drama. Every speed duel has felt like a gimmick duel that hasn't mattered. So, I don't know. I feel like it has a lot of things in common with 5Ds in that regard. Well, like, again, the story that I've seen so far of Vrains is really good. I really like the story in Vrains. I don't really know enough of the characters to say that the characters are really good in Vrains yet. But the story, fantastic. But again, I'm here for the card games, and the card games in Vrains have been kind of mid. Think of how bland the world would be if all we liked the same stuff and it's called Here Different Opinions. A hot take, the final arc should have been in the first arc. And potentially. It just makes more sense at the end of the series, the Signer fight and the Dark Signers, right? I think the Dark Signers was like a really cool part of that though. Like the Dark Signer arc, I think a lot of people will agree, is like one of the best arcs in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. And it kind of is like right in the middle, which is like kind of weird. I'm sorry about is most Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are around 30 plus, meaning the 90s generation. It hasn't really caught up to the newer generations, and that's sad because there's a whole story behind the series, and it's also a game that can develop your mind. I mean, yeah, 100%. Is that Zaki Boys? He did say stuff earlier, but I didn't clock it was Zaki Boys. Welcome on in, Zaki Boys. Which Master Duel against Revolver, the first or second? So we've only watched the first one. And this, we're still, by the way, at the point where every fucking Link summon has like a 30-second animation. And I don't know who thought it was a good idea to do 30-second animations every time you Link summon. Especially when we're Link climbing. I don't know who said that was okay, but it was awful. Just awful. Like, straight up awful. Honestly, outside of Revolver and maybe I and Onizuka, the characters are flat in Vrains too. I think Playmaker's fine. He's very one-dimensional, but that's fine. You don't need, like, the main character doesn't have to, like, have a lot going on. Revolver is great. I think Revolver's just fantastic. I think Blue Angel, for me, is a bit boring. I'm still waiting for Blue Angel to do something. I've also heard Soul Burner gets really good, but I haven't met Soul Burner yet, so I don't know. A second one, aka their rematch, is the best one for Revolver Playmaker. Well, I'm looking forward to watching that. I will get around to it eventually. I'm just really bad, because I have such little spare time at the moment. Spoiler, second Master Duel is way better. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. My favorite duel of Vrains is Soul Burner versus Revolver, the final one. I mean, again, we'll get there eventually. One of these years, we'll get there. But yeah, that's my take. I think this is my hottest take, is that this is a B. Actually, probably my Arc V will probably be a hot take as well. All right, next up. What are we doing next? I would like to talk about GX, I think. GX. I really like GX. So GX is one. I don't know where this is going in one of these. I'm going to preface this by saying this. This is going up high. I am a big GX fanboy. I really like the early GX. And this was something that Dylan said in his video as well, where it was he doesn't like early GX because it is all very villain of the week. It's all very happy-go-lucky. There isn't really much of an underlying story going on. And then when the story does start picking up, that's kind of at the Sacred Beasts arc, which the Sacred Beast arc wasn't great. I'm not going to try and defend it. The Sacred Beast arc was not fantastic. Some of the duels, and the key point again, some of the duels in the Sacred Beast arc were great. Some of them were genuinely fantastic. And I think that's why I really like it, because I like the duels in GX. Some of the duels in GX, genuinely really, really enjoyable. The overall story of GX, not as strong as, like, right, it's like, if I was comparing the stories of these two, this is an S tier, this is like down here. But I'm not comparing the stories, right? I'm comparing the shows themselves, and for me, the characters and the duels are more important. Now, don't get me wrong, GX has massive flaws. It has ridiculous flaws, right? You didn't watch the best series. What is the best series, Hikari? Are you talking about Vrains. I'll give my like thoughts on Vrains at the end. GX is some of the best back and forth duels. Yes, right. Again, GX has problems, right? GX has some really, really big problems. For example, Jaden is GX, right? Jaden gets 99% of duels in the show, I swear. Barely any of the supporting characters get any duels at all. I think Alexis gets like 8, maybe out over the entire thing. Chaz gets something similar. Cyrus gets like 5 or something. Like, it really is the Jaden show. And that's got some pros and cons. I didn't really like Jaden's deck after he gets the Neospatians. I think the pure hero version of the deck was better. But I think some of the supporting characters in the show are also really fantastic. I love Chaz. I love Alexis. I love Zane. I love, or, you know, Kaiser. I think Bastion's really cool. I like Jesse. I love Crocodile Jim Cook. God, what else is there? I love Crowler. I think Crowler's a fantastic character. Like, there are so many strong characters and so many strong duels in GX. I'm going to put it in S for now. Because, again, my 3 favorites are Vrains, Zexal, and Go Rush. Right, so my question to you, Hikari, is, are you... Right, so, again, this is an oversimplification, but this is just, like, to make it easier to digest and, like, process, right? Where do you rank the card games themselves, the characters, and the story? Like, which one is the most important to you? What's the second most important? What's the third most important? Because, like I've already said, I'm always going to prioritize the quality of the card game, then the characters, then the story. Which is why, like we say, that's why 5D's is as low as it is. Because I think the card games were a bit fine, but the story was incredible. The story here is incredible. And I get a feeling, character story games. Yeah, I see, that is what I was going to say. Because you have chosen, in my opinion... Vrains, these 3, right? It was... So, these 3, I think all 3 of these, again, so far of what I've seen, I think this has a great story. Like, fantastic story. Ridiculously good story. I'm not sold on all of the characters yet, but so far, story, fantastic. This show, again, really good story. I really like the story, and really strong characters. I think arguably the weakest part of the show is the duels. And I don't even think the duels are bad in Go Rush. And then for Zexal, Zexal is such a hard one for me. Because I love some of the characters. Like, I love Kite. I love Mizar, or Mizar, however we're saying it. I love... I mean, that's kind of it for the characters I really love from the show. I don't like Shark, but then again, I haven't like seen all of it. I like what I've seen of all of the Baryons, except for Shark, because I don't like Shark. But like, I like what I've seen of, what is it, Elito, Quattro, Vector. All of those characters seem cool. I just haven't experienced them, so I don't really have much of a, much of an opinion on them. Kamala was the best one out of the Shadow Riders. Yes, Kamala was fantastic. But also, Kamala got 3 really good duels as well. GX is some of the best decks, back and forth duels. Both GX and Arc 5 had too many characters to share the screen. Yes, they were both ensemble cast shows that didn't know how to use an ensemble cast. So again, the actual story of both of them, kind of weak. But the actual card games and the characters themselves, I thought were really good. But Shark? I don't like Shark. Everything I've seen of Shark, he seems lame, and his deck is just Sharks. It's like he went, what is your deck? It is just the animal, Sharks, and we overlay them a lot. And that's it. And that just doesn't interest me, like, at all. 4th is soundtrack. That's fair as well. I think the thing is, every Yu-Gi-Oh! Show has a fantastic soundtrack. Vrains is just peak in everything. I can't say that it isn't. I will say... I don't like the speed duels very much in Vrains. I think the Master Duel, the one Master Duel I've seen, is incredible. Like, it's actually incredible. Like, I think the Master Duel that I saw in this is one of the... It's not like a top 10 all-time duel, but it's up there, right? It's like it's a really strong duel. Like a really good Revolver versus Playmaker duel. I really, really liked it. Shark and Kite are best boys. Vrains, I would say, the most realistic in terms of duels and are very close to the modern game. Yeah, again, I'm not a big fan of the speed duels. I think the speed duels are like, they're fine, they're serviceable. They're not like the really sick multi-duel or multi-episode duels. They're not these like really high stakes, like really, like get me emotionally invested in it duels. What's the tier list about? Anime? Yeah, so this is a very subjective, what my favorite anime. Like my favorite just Yu-Gi-Oh animes. That's all we're doing at the moment. But hello, welcome on in. Because a lot of other animes, they use cards, not as good, I feel. Yeah, I think that's fair as well. Zexal is hard carried by villains. They are super good. But I think that's where like some of the shows fall apart. Because some of the shows have really bad villains. And I think that really hurts them. Like, alright. This is something that, again, Dylan did say, but I 100% agree with. Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s has some of the worst villains in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, straight up, across all seasons, 7s has, like, some of the worst bad guys. Like, they are just... Like, there is... What? There's... The best villains in Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s are Nail, Roa... Like, Yuo Goha he's there? I wouldn't say he's like super great. And then it's Yuga Goha. Like, that's kind of it for like good villains. It's like Otis's pants. There was what, the helmet that like was the leader of the Goha organization. That was just bad. I don't know. But Shark. Only thing that brings Zexal down from being called the best anime is Yuma being the main character. Alright, I will say, I tried to watch Zexal when it was brand new, when it was very first coming out. The main character in this show was so annoying, I stopped watching the show. Like, I genuinely do not like Yuma at all. I also don't like Yuma's deck, pretty much at all. I do not like... I think Yuma is the worst thing in the show, and that's the thing that keeps me from going back and watching it. I went back and watched all of the Kite duels, because after seeing how cool Kite was in Arc 5, I was like, Kite's awesome. I want to learn more about this guy. Don't like Sharks, he seems fishy. The one thing that Vrains has against it is the end, and it's not bad, it's just way too open. I mean, again, we haven't gotten there, so I can't really talk to it. When we talk about top duels of all time, Shun/Shady versus Sora. Yes. Oh, that was so good. That is so... There is like 3 like top 10 duels of all time in Arc 5. And that's why I think I vote it so highly. Because it's just really good. Yeah, theorized that product issues was the reason for this ending because of the time they were working on DSOD. I mean, yeah, DSOD was also fun though. It's not here. I'm pretty biased, but everything with Declan Akaba is top tier. I mean, that's fair. Battle Beast from Arc 5 was horrible. Yeah, I mean, Arc 5 had some doozies. You could make an argument most of the Synchro Dimension was pretty crap. You could also say they underutilized so many of the interesting characters. We could have got so much more from Alexis, who was there, and just didn't duel. I don't think at all. They could have brought... Right. Easiest slam dunk. I think I've said this before on stream. Easiest slam dunk for Arc 5. You bring Zane back, and you have Zane play Cyber Dragon Infinity. You have Zane... replace Asta with Zane. Zane is the general that is sent to invade the Xyz dimension. He invades Heartland. As Alexis dueled twice. Did she duel twice in that... What was her deck? I don't remember her dueling. Let me have a look. I'm gonna look this up quick. But like, replace Asta with Zane, and then give Zane Cyber Dragon Infinity, and be like he's like adapted the locals dueling style into his deck, and it would have been so good. Arc v Alexa. Let me have a look. I don't remember her dueling. Let's have a look. Duels, yes. One was a flashback. One was against 3 guys. She plays Cyber Prima, Cyber Tutubon, Etoile Cyber, Cyber Angel Nest. Okay. Oh yeah, that is absolutely fair. That is absolutely fair. I don't remember this at all, but I mean, I'm looking at the evidence, so. Zane was in a wheelchair? Just bring him back. Like, the literal main antagonist, other than Zark, right, the professor, has, like, cybernetic implants. Just give Zane cybernetic implants. Worst Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist of all time from the ratings of Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans. DM the first series is Zexal is better in Japanese dub because it's actually more series, especially Zexal, trust me. Arc V may be badly paced, but it had some of the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Aura farms. Yeah, Arc V has just some of the best duels, like, straight up. Kaiba is less rude to Joey and accepts him for a duelist. Cyber Angel, I mean, watch DM original series and Zexal in Japanese, day and night, bro. Much more enjoyable. I still think, though, that I watched the original DM in English, and I would still watch it again. Like, still absolutely love it. His name was in the board when Yu-Gi-Oh! Came to the Fusion Dimension, and came the name Hellkaiser, which was Zane. Yeah, but that's not the same. Right? I want to see him duel. I wanted to see, like, Zane show up, like, he summons, like, Cyber End Dragon or whatever. Like, he gets his big boss destroyed, and they're like, ah, right, this fusion guy's nothing. And then bro, like, overlays into Cyber Dragon Nova. And then they're like, oh, no, that's our thing. He can't do XZ summons. That would have been, like, such aura farm. Like, that would have been ridiculous. You think GX is S tier? So, right, we've been... You're kind of in here a bit late, Toti. But we're talking about the shows that I like. And we were talking about the reasons we like the shows. So, for me, the most important part of a show to be like for me to like it is it needs to have really strong duels. So I think GX are some of the strongest duels, which is why it's an S. And then so for me, it was duels, then character, then story. I think GX has one of the worst stories, but it has some of the best characters and some of the best duels. That's why I've got it in S. And we had to explain that as well as to why 5Ds is in B, because 5Ds has some of the best story and some of the best characters, but some of the worst duels. And bro would put a guy in a wheelchair in Arc V. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. People really wanted to see Zane in Arc V. Just do it. It would be sick. One Alexis, 3 guys. I think I've seen that video. I actually prefer Atem in English. That's the reason. I mean, it's just Dan Green's just a great voice actor, right? No one wants to know what you do with your free time. I'm a huge sucker for characters from different series making appearances. Yeah, I am as well. That's like whenever it's like even the like Avengers stuff, obviously like the Marvel stuff. That stuff gets me because my very simple monkey brain is like, I like when character from one movie show up in other movie. That make my brain go that fun, right? Now don't get me wrong, the movie also has to be good as well, but there is an added level of enjoyment for me when you do like a crossover like that. I genuinely really enjoy it. And whenever we have like the Yu-Gi-Oh crossovers as well, like Yugi versus Jaden, fantastic, right? Obviously Arc V was just all crossovers. It was maybe a bit too ambitious, but like I still really like it. That's why I love the Sevens and Go Rush collections. Yes, GX dub's really good. Vrains has characters with 90% plus win rates. I mean, yeah. I don't know if we're saying that's a positive or a negative. Huge, but yeah, for me, Bonds Beyond Time is a good movie. I like Bonds Beyond Time. I do think it is the weakest of the 3 movies, personally. I think the nostalgia factor for Pyramid of Light is always going to get me. And I think DSOD is just a fantastic movie in general. In fact, right, I say that. I actually don't like the whole, like, dimension summoning and, like, dimension dueling part of DSOD. I feel like we went out of our way to give them, like, up-to-date decks and play with 8,000 life points and play with, like, more modern rules. And then we just make the shit up as we go. And it was just like, I like when they're not dimension dueling. But like at the same time, there is something about Kaiba pulling Obelisk the Tormentor literally out of his ass that is really hype. Like, that is just really cool. I still think Udius is the best written Yu-Gi-Oh character of all time. Alright, I like Udius. I think Udius is a great protagonist. I think that he has a lot of, like, struggles that he goes through. The one thing I would say is, I don't know if Udius actually grows during the show. I feel like Udius is such a well-rounded and well-adjusted character that bro didn't need to develop over the course of his show. He just dealt with problems as they appeared and never grew because he didn't need to grow. He was already a fully grown man, is what it kind of felt like with him. Whereas, like, Jaden drastically changes throughout his show. He starts out as, like, happy-go-lucky and ends up as, like, he's got, like, 6 dual spirits. He's, like, super edgy and super emo. Like, now you could argue that's not great character development, but you can't argue the fact it is character development. Bonds Beyond Time is kind of mid. You can just look past, oh my god, they brought back Yugi and Jaden. Yes, I think that's how I feel about it as well. But I'm also a big sucker for, oh my god, they brought back Yugi and Jaden. D-Sod had the best art. Yes, D-Sod's art direction was incredible. Also, hello, Quantum. Welcome on in. The world champion himself. We'll do the exclamation mark, Quantum. I've always got to shout out the boy. Yeah, I do think D-Sod, just in general, everything about the D-Sod movie, from art direction, choreography, voice acting, the soundtrack, is all incredible. I just don't like the... Like, again, I'm very much a card game purist. I want to watch them play the card game. I want the better card game player to win. And then when we start doing things like, oh, we're doing turbo duels, or oh, we're doing dimension duels, or oh, we're doing stuff that kind of hurts the purity of it, that's when, like, I start to go a bit like, eh. Which is why I really liked the, like, Yugi versus Kaiba duels in D-Sod. I thought those were, like, the best bits for me. Like, absolutely love them. Absolutely love them. But getting back to actually ranking these, I really, really like Sevens. Sevens, though, has, like we're saying, the worst villains. Like, actually just the worst bad guys from, like, any Yu-Gi-Oh show. The story of Sevens is quite weak as well. But the actual main cast of characters, so we're talking Yuga, we're talking Luke, we're talking Gavin, or Gakuto, we're talking Romin, even extending that to Roa, extending that to Asaka, extending that to Mimi, extending that to Nail, extending that to some of the Goha siblings. I think some of the characters in Sevens are so strong. They are such just really good characters. Can we please put Arc V in dogshit tier? A lot of females like Arc V for some reason. Alright. 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 Let's do Arc V now. For me, Arc V is probably... it's somewhere here. And again, the reason why is Arc V has probably one of the worst stories in any Yu-Gi-Oh series. But again, like I say, I rate the story very low down on my list of priorities, right? If we were rating the stories, this is going, like, down here, right? But the actual characters and the duels, I think, in this show are fantastic. Again, any duel with Sora, incredible. Any day with Shay or Shun, incredible. Any duel that has... I mean, I guess Yuri's duels are all fantastic. Like, Gonganzaka, any duel with Kite. Like, there's any duel with Jack Atlas. Like, they're all so good. They're all so good. There are so many, like, ridiculously good duels in Arc 5. Like, actually so many ridiculously good ones. Nail and Asuna should not count as villains. I mean, they were, like, antagonists that joined the good guys team, right? Yeah, the cast is fantastic. I think most characters I care for are in Sevens. Because a lot of trying to get a female duelist to have good writing. Break from Work goes crazy. Hot take, Arc V is the worst series. Again, I think Arc V has the worst story out of any show in this list. Literally, it is the worst written story. It's worse than GX story-wise, in my opinion. Only Reiji is good. Alright, do you want to know my hot take? I think Reiji is one of the worst written characters in Arc 5. Alright, so in my opinion, the best characters in Arc 5. The worst character has got to be Yuya himself. Like, I don't know, Yuya, like, sometimes he's okay, most of the time he's not. I don't know, it's a weird one. I'm surprised to see 5Ds that low. Sorry, again, alright, we have to keep, like, reiterating this because people keep coming in, but also, hello, Mirka said to them, welcome. But this, right, we've specified a bunch of times now, 5Ds has it's S-tier story. This is an S-tier story. The characters are definitely at least an A-tier. But the duels are a B-tier. That's where I rank it. And for me, the duels are the most important part. Tomatoes never watched Vrains, that's a sin. So we've watched about 20 episodes of Vrains. That's as deep as we've gone. I do like Vrains. We're in the adverts as well. We're in the adverts. We'll have to wait for the adverts to go away. Tomato clearly never watched the last season of 5Ds. I watched the last season of 5Ds. I was watching 5Ds as it was airing in Japanese. So I got to know the original Japanese opening to that. I don't know if anyone here has heard the original Japanese opening to 5Ds, but it is so good. It is actually so good. Like, it is one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Openings of all time. It is so just, I don't know, it's so full of emotion. It's really exciting. It's just like, it's got that kind of grunge feel, but then like it gets like full of hope as it goes through. It's so good. It's so good. You said you like strong duelists. No. Again, I'm not talking about strong duelists as in, like, they win a lot. I'm talking about, like, they have a strong character, right? And I like strong duels. Like, I like the duels that are really, really good. Jack Atlas in Arc V is much worse than in 5Ds. The thing is, you're not wrong, but he's still really good in Arc 5. Okay, I see. Okay, Tomato Clean, never watched the last 5Ds. 20 episodes, basically the best ones, and it's still low. I think having a new anime with fan favorites from all the shows coming together in Rush Dimension and having Rush versions of the decks would be fantastic. Yeah, I would love that, personally. I would love that. I don't know how that would land, like, if that would stick the landing, but, like, I would love it, personally. 5D's opening is pretty underrated. Yeah, it's actually insane. It's actually so good. And again, I want to preface as well, a B-tier show, for me, this is still like... I'm gonna redo these, right? For me, this is a 10 out of 10 show. Like, I absolutely love it. This is like a 9 out of 10 show. And this is like an 8 out of 10 show. Like, it's not like I think this is like awful. I still think an 8 out of 10 show is still ridiculously good. I like all of these shows. Like, down here, this is where we're getting to, like, the 7 out of 10. You know, this is where we're getting more of, like, the... I didn't watch all of some of the series Tomato, like Zexal, but the final duel of Yuma versus Vector in Japanese is very emotional. Yeah, I need to watch it. I really need to. I've heard pretty much the entire, like, Baryon arc is meant to be insane. Like, I've heard people say it's, like, the best, like, series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Ever. And I want to watch that, but I haven't watched it, so I just can't comment on it. Which 5D's opening? It's the very start. Well, I think we can put it on, right? I'll chuck it on. Like, we'll be fine. What was that? This one. Right. Just make sure it's not going to deafeningly loud. This is the... Yeah, it's this one. I love this song so much. See, this is so nostalgic for me as well. The first opening's so bad? What are you talking about, bro? This opening is peak. This is so good. And then, like, the hopeful bit comes in. Come on, this is so good. This is so good. I love a salt theme from it. I think it's from the Japanese dub. The thing is, I was watching this show. I would have been like, I don't know, 13, 14? I would have been like a little baby when the show was coming out. I've heard the dub opening so much, I hate it. Yeah, I don't think the dub opening holds a candle, personally, but you know. The opening's so nice as a classic. Yuma versus Vector is peak cinema. Go Fast makes me feel alive. My heart beats in hyperdrive. Yeah, lots of people gave up on early Zexal when Yuma was cringe and bad at the game. I gave up on Zexal because Yuma was cringe. I was like, why am I watching this shit? He's so bad. But like, to be fair, Yuya has a similar problem. Where Yuya starts out quite strong. It's like, yeah, I'm the pendulum guy. I'm so happy-go-lucky. We're going to do some action duels. Everything's great. And then, like, he hits the stride of, like, everyone else does pendulum summons. And now I'm not special anymore. And it's like, shut up, Yuya. What are you doing? And then, like, he spends, like, I don't know, like 30, 40% of the show just crying and moping. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Go Rush gets S tier opening because Quaidoodles. Gets S tier just because of Quaidle. I don't really like Quaidle, if I'm being honest with you. Quaidle is not a great antagonist, in my opinion. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. The visuals make up for it, at least. I think the music in Japanese dub is super epic all around. I mean, yeah. I think in general, all Yu-Gi-Oh music is always fantastic. Am I wrong as was you say the only dude with a 100% win rate? Yeah, Playmaker, like, can't lose, right? That's, like, his whole thing. Which Zexal in Japanese, big difference. The thing is, I originally started watching Zexal in Japanese, and I dropped it when I was watching it in Japanese. But, like, I need to, like... I think what I need is to, like, watch some of Zexal on 2x speed to get through the bits that I don't care about. And then actually get to the good bits. I think that's what I need to do. Like, not just, like, binge through, like, loads of episodes on 2x speed, but, like, it'll be like, oh, Yuma's being cringe again. Fast forward through that, get to the good bit, right? That sort of thing. I think I'll get through it a lot quicker and easier that way, personally. You sucker lost me as a kid. No, that doesn't count. That don't count. That don't count. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. You say lost to Jack in flashback if you want to go there. I mean, Yuma lost to Bronk like 37 times, right? You say lost in flashback too, then. Yuya, card war bad. Everyone, my brother in Christ. This is what the show is about. That's how I feel about Trinity Dragon and Vanguard. Yeah. I mean, I didn't... Alright, my other, like, big L is that I haven't watched Vanguard G. I dropped Vanguard in Legion, and then I picked it up again in V when they did the reboot. So I've watched everything from V onwards, and I did go back and finish Legion when we were getting the Legion stuff in Cardfight Vanguard 0, but I still haven't watched G. I've watched 2 episodes of G, so I've really not watched much G. But yeah, my take is the duels in this show are incredible. I think Yuya versus Yuri was a fantastic duel. I think Yuya versus mind-controlled... I can't remember what they're called. The two of the Bracelet Girls. That was a ridiculously good one. Sora versus Shun was a ridiculously good duel. Anytime Kite's on screen, he does the exact same turn 1 because he stacks his deck, and it's still really hype every time. I just started G. I see. I already hated Yuma because of his dub voice. Now I hate him even more because of the Utopia glue deck. Real! I don't think Utopia is very, like, exciting as a boss monster. Like, when I think about, like, Dark Magician, I'm like, oh, it's a bit weird, it's a bit wacky, but I like it. I think it's a cool boss monster. And then it's like Flame Wingman, I think was really cool. And then it was like Neos, I was... Neos... And then we got to, like, Stardust. I thought Stardust Dragon, that's a sick boss monster. And then it's... I also really like Junk Warrior as well, by the way. Junk Warrior is also a really cool boss monster. Then it was, Utopia. That's kind of like... Eh. And then I liked Odd Eyes. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon I thought was fine. And then right now it's Firewall Dragon / Decode Talker. I think both of them are fine as well. I also really like Seven's Road Magician. And then Galactica Oblivion, I'm back to like... I don't really care about Galactica Oblivion. Kite is way better in Zexal. The thing is, I don't like Kite's deck as much in Zexal. I like Kite when he's playing Galaxy Eyes Cypher Dragon rather than when he's playing Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon or Proton Dragon. I forget what his name is. I don't like the main deck monster boss. I don't think that is as cool. I get why, because he's the anti-Xyz guy. That's his thing, right? But I still think his deck is cooler when he's using Cypher Dragon, personally. The Mind Control duel was kind of mid. It just ended on a really hype Aura Farm moment. Nah, the duel was great. The entire duel was so good. If you watch English dub, it's kind of skill issue, though. Trying to think what we were talking about now. Like, alright, so Japanese, I watched Arc 5 in Japanese, 7's in Japanese, 5D's in Japanese. I watched this in English. I've seen the final season in Japanese, but I watched the majority of this in English. Obviously, I've only watched these in Japanese. So most of this is Japanese. The other one's DM. DM's also a big Japanese. For me, by the way, I think DM is going in S tier. And now a big part of that is going to be nostalgia, but DM was back when having multi-episode duels was the norm, right? It was back when we had... Like, I think about some of the duels in the show. All of Duelist Kingdom, peak. Absolute peak. The rules don't make any fucking sense, but it doesn't matter. It's still so... just hype. It's so cool. Absolutely incredible. Joey versus Yugi. Also, the soundtrack for Duelist Kingdom is insane. Like, actually insane. Like, we are closer than brothers. Now we have to fight each other. You had, like... Pegasus... Oh, yeah, another thing. The villains in this show are so good. Pegasus is such a good villain. Marek is such a good villain. Right? There are just so many, like, S-tier villains. But, Bakura... Bakura's fine. I don't think Bakura is on Pegasus level, and I don't think he's on Marek level. But, like, he's still good. DM aged a bit too poorly for me, but I get it. Yeah, it's one of those things as well. The reason I started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! The reason I play Duel Links now, the reason I play Rush Duel was because of DM. Like, I watched this show as a kid, and I fell in love with it. I absolutely love it. So there is going to be a lot of nostalgia, but even so, I still think some of the characters in the show are so unbelievably well written. And then I think about to some of the duels, like Yugi versus Kaiba in the Battle City Finals. Oh, it was so good. Bro, it's so good. Like, that is just one of the best duels ever. Yugi versus Joey in Duelist Kingdom Finals, incredible. Yugi versus Pegasus was incredible. The one duel that actually really disappointed me in DM was Yugi versus Marek. I think Yugi versus Marek was a bit weak, personally. GX is badly adapted in English, but I guess it's opinions. I think that's fair. I do think that is a fair take. But I think it's one of those things where, like, even in English, it was still fine. Even if it wasn't, like, as good, I still think it was very watchable. I destroy the moon and bring down the flying castle. It's so good. We gotta just... The only thing holding up the Castle of Dark Illusions is the Swords of Revealing Light, because we've destroyed its flotation disc. Bakura the Jobber. Marek is literally just better Bakura. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel as well. I haven't seen GX in English, but from what I hear, GX is better in manga because Jaden plays as Master Heroes. Yeah, I think that's another thing. Everything we've said, the manga is better in GX in every way, right? Chaz plays Light and Darkness Dragon and has like an Armed Dragon deck, and it's really, really cool. Alexis plays the... Is it Ice Princess? I think the deck was called. Jaden plays Masked Heroes, but he plays like regular heroes in like a flashback. Bastion plays like a weird like Hinotama deck. There was one of the other main characters that's manga exclusive is a Dark Lord player and was also really, really good. Like there was in the manga for GX is actually kind of insane. Like it's actually kind of insane. Joey versus Marek and also Odeon versus... Yeah, that's why DM just has so many like fantastic duels. And like again, I will always say, for me, duels most important. So any shows that have like the best duels, they're going to be the best shows for me, right? In terms of story though, I do think this is still just a fantastic story. Now again, the filler arcs in DM can get a bit overbearing, but they're still good. I haven't read it, but somewhere that the manga is insane. Also, Jaden's backstory and how he gets heroes is revealed. I won't spoil it. Yeah, the backstory for how he gets the heroes is so good. So good. Then we get to the boy. For me, I actually have a really difficult time placing Go Rush. And the reason why is I really like Go Rush, but I really like all of these. Like, again, even though 5Ds is here, I still love 5Ds. Like, I absolutely love 5Ds. Go Rush has some really good duels. It does genuinely have some really good duels. Like, pretty much anything with Yuna in it is a really good duel. Anytime Zuijo is in a duel, literally anytime Zuijo is in a duel, he can be dueling anyone, and it's going to be a S tier duel, right? It is just, Zuijo has this, like, air about him, where he's such an interesting character. His deck is so interesting. He has, like, such powerful aura. Just anytime he's on screen, Zuijo is, like, stealing the show. And it's almost not fair to the rest of the cast, because Zuijo is so good, just compared to, like, everyone else. I actually think the weaker characters for me in Go Rush are people like Yuhi. People like Udius, to an extent, I think is also kind of weak. I think Yuamu is not one of the strongest characters in that show. Obviously, she actually like, gets some decent development as it goes on. I mean, so does Yuhi, to be fair. Orichalco's arc is considered a filler arc, but it's still some of the better seasons. Yes, I think the most egregious season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! DM is the Virtual World arc, as in like the Noah arc, where they go like to fight the Big Five. And it's not even because the arc is bad. It's because of where it comes in. Where it just like comes in, like we're in the middle of the Battle City Finals, and then let's take a 30 episode break and go do this wacky Virtual World arc. It's like, it's a cool season. It comes at like the worst possible time. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. Zuijo mentioned. Hot take, but Yuamu stopped making sense as a character after like the first season. Yuhi, my beloved. I think both Yuamu and Yuhi are both kind of weak as characters a lot of the time. And I think it's because they were trying to do this weird, like, we have 3 main character thing going on. But Udius always stole the show, so really it was just him as the main character. But then you also had an issue of Zuijo was just like more engaging Udius a lot of the time. He was just a more interesting character. He had like drive, he had ambition. He was actually trying to like make changes for the better. Udius just kind of felt like he was, come on guys, let's all have a great time. And that was kind of the entire character the whole way through. I don't know, it's a weird one. Yuamu, I sleep. Darkmeister, real shit. I mean, Darkmeister I generally thought was like a really good twist. It was kind of like, it was a bit of a cheap twist, but like still a good twist, I think. Yeah, I think I have this personally. I have it behind Sevens. The reason I have it behind Sevens is because I think Sevens has a better overall key cast of characters. I think Yuga is a better protagonist than Udius. I think Gavin... I mean, Maddox is also really good on Manabu. Gakuto and Manabu are both really good characters. They're both just really good, just straight up. Roman is just better than Yuamu in, like, every way. Like, Roman is, like, fantastic. Like, absolutely love Roman. Luke... Luke gets on my nerves a bit, but I still think Luke is a good character. I think he suits the show and what they were going for. And I really like Luke, and I really like a lot of Luke's duels as well. Kawaido versus Udius, round 3 is peak. Zuijo carries the cast. Alright, so I don't like Quaidel. I don't like Quaidel... I don't like his character. I don't like his design. I don't like his deck. I don't really like Quaidel at all. The things I like about Quaidel, I like the fact that his arc is where everyone gets like the darkness cards and they put them into the deck, and I think the darkness cards are really cool. And it's like, oh, you know, it's like you can make your fusion monsters, but you use a lot of the darkness stuff, and now you make like evil versions of your fusion monsters. And I was like, that's really cool. I really like that. We ignore season 3 in the stream. You're underrating Yuamu a lot, in my honest opinion. She's like the smartest character in Garage. The thing is, I don't think Yuamu is the smartest character because she's earned being the smartest character. I think she's the smartest character because she was just written that way. And what I mean by that is, in a lot of cases, you get characters that, like, you see them grow. You naturally see them reach conclusions. You see them, like, earn being, like, the smartest. And then you get things like in Death Note, where you get people like Light or L, where they're just kind of the smartest because they are. They don't really have a reason for it. They just are the smartest. And don't get me wrong, I think that can work really cool, really well. I really like Death Note as a show. I like those characters in Death Note as a show, but I don't feel like I like L and Light because they're really smart, right? I like them because of how they're portrayed on screen. And in the same way, there are some ways you can write characters where it can feel really rewarding when they like start to work stuff out. Yuamu just feels like when it makes sense, she has the answer. And like, I don't know, I don't like that kind of writing, personally. Yuamu's... Like, I think the most engaging duel Yuamu has, other than the Darkmeister stuff, when she becomes Darkmeister, I think that's actually, she gets a lot better. But I do think Yuamu gets... Her best duel is when she duels against Zuijo. When they're at, like, the curry bread shop. I think that's her best duel, in my opinion. How did Yuna outplay Yuamu? Yuamu's really wrote a script, how the duel will go, that Yuna will realize her plan with said duel. I'm trying to remember what we're talking about. Are we talking about Asaka or Asuna, whatever her name is? Because I don't remember her doing that with Yuna. I remember she had like the script duel in the final season. Kawaido manipulates everyone behind the scenes, he's peak. In my mind, I look at him and I go, you are just... Your design is just Udius, but like slightly different. Your deck is just everyone else's deck. Like, you just take all their boss monsters, put your own twist on it, and put it in your deck. I don't know. I've never been a big fan of him, personally. And he's another one of those characters that just kind of... He just shows up when we do, like, the whole ritual stuff. And he's just like, oh yeah, by the way, I've been traveling other dimensions, and I've got ritual something from another dimension. And they never really explain it. They just kind of go, yeah, that happened. Anyway. I don't like it. I don't like it. The Dark Matter Empire / Goha team up ended up only serving Yuna's goals of getting the time machine. I mean, yeah, basically, right? Wasn't that Asaka versus Yuamu? The Prime Tribute Summons. Yeah, the Prime Tribute Summons, yeah. And that's the one duel I was thought we were talking about, the Asaka versus Yuamu one. Which was like, it was Tell, like playing, like following the script. That's the one that I'm thinking. I might be off base here, but that's the one I was thinking of. All right. I guess we'll start wrapping this up a bit. So season 0. I really like Season 0. I really like all of these shows. I really, really like all of these shows. Season 0 is genuinely really, really good. Any of the games where they play Monsters and Wizards in Season 0, fantastic. Any of the episodes where they play Capsule Monster Chess, fantastic. Some of the other episodes are also really good, like the Tamagotchi episode, really, really good. There are some really, really good episodes in Season 0, and I really, really like it. Not gonna lie, I think Go Rush needed a different finale villains, Evil Udius, something else entirely, but not that. Yes, I think, for me, Go Rush could have ended with the duel between Yuamu and Udius. It could have just ended there. Or I guess it ended up being Yuhi versus Udius. I think that would have been a fine ending. It could have just ended there. I absolutely believe that. But if we were going to do an extra villain, it needed to be something better than Otis. Like, Otis, again. Otis is so crap, bro. I'm so sick of Otis. Mobuko should have been the final twist villain and intervened in the Otis fight. Hey, potentially. Zero was disturbing. I won't be watching it. It's genuinely really good. It's genuinely really good. Who's Otis? So Otis... We'll just get him up, shall we? Oats. This guy. This is Otis. You probably know him from the tutorial in the Rush Dual Switch game. But this is what he looks like in... Oh, it's not a very good image. This is what he looks like in Go Rush. Who's behind the mask? You know, we'll find out. Do they have all of the different Otises? No, they don't have them here, do they? I was hoping they would just have, like, all the different Otises. But it doesn't look like it. I think, yeah, what makes the most sense is that Quantum is Otis. Because if you think about it, Quantum's name is Quantum, right? And when you mix the letters of Quantum around, you get Otis. So I think it does make sense. But I think this is my list. And then we'll talk about these two quick. From what I have seen, this is going here. Alright, I have to judge Zexal based on only the duels I've seen. Which means the most hype duel in Zexal is Kite versus Mizar on the moon. So I have to judge it based on that. And I think it goes here. And cubes end with S, like Otis. Exactly. Vrain's ending will push that backward. Again, I might genuinely, I might watch these shows and be like, bam, right? I might genuinely do this. But until I've watched them, I can only give you my current opinions. And my current opinions is this. And by the way, I just want to say, I think I'm being very generous with Vrains, considering I've watched one Master Duel, and then like 10 speed duels, or what are they called? Yeah, they are speed duels. And the speed duels are kind of whatever. So I think I'm being very generous to it. I think I'm being very generous there. Vrain's ending is, and I'm sorry, pure shite. I mean, we'll get there. We'll see what it's like. We'll see what it's like when we do get there. Tomorrow, I apologize for saying your last tier list was your worst tier list. I wasn't aware of your season days. Again. Alright, so... I do just want to say again, this is based on my own personal taste. This is based on the shows that, in my opinion, have the best duels in them. I think GX and DM have ridiculously good duels. I think some of the duels in Arc 5 are incredible. If I was doing just the story, right? If we let's do a revamp, right? If I'm just doing the story and I no longer give a shit about the quality of the duels, right? How would I rearrange this? This goes down here. This goes up here. This goes down here. This probably here. This probably goes up here. This goes down probably something like this. Yeah, I think this is how I would have it if I was just rating the stories of these shows. This is how I would do it. No one tell Tomato about Bowman Gauntlet. I mean, we'll get there. We'll get there. Vrain's ending had so much potential, but had production problems. You have no taste, Tomato, but it's alright. I like you anyway. Hey, I like to think I've explained myself very well here. Okay, that's a better list. Right, my question to you guys is, what is the big standout here? Like, what would you have? I'll just ask this like as a very generic thing. What is everyone's favorite shows? So what is everyone's what is everyone in chat? What's your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh series? You don't have to give me like them all in order if you don't want to. Just like, what is your favorite one? I want to know if like people are going to agree that Vrains or 5Ds is like some of the best ones. Go Rush 7's Arc 5. That's bold. Vrains Go Rush? I think that's fair. Zexal GX? My question to you is, start playing a brand new double cheese cross pizza. Oh, bro. Vrains all the way, GX. So this is what I mean. Everyone has like such varying opinions. Because again, I like GX. I really like GX. And I think it is one of my favorite seasons. I do have to admit, I do think GX has a bad story. But like, I think a big thing is going to be as well, like how many of you guys are like voting based on you really like the story, you just like the entire package overall. Zexal 5Ds, Go Rush 7s, Vrains, Arc V. You really don't like DM that much? Bro, DM is so good. I criticize you, but I only watched Duelist Kingdom. Wait. Quantum, do you mean you only watched... Like, you watched Duelist Kingdom, you didn't watch Battle City, and then you watched no other Yu-Gi-Oh! Until, like, the movie? Or are you saying, of DM, all you watched was, Duelist Kingdom? Because I'm genuinely curious about that. Avakora when defeat Bones on Cemetery. I mean, that's a good duel. I like that duel. I remember that duel. It wasn't very long duel, but I really did enjoy it. But yeah, I didn't watch Battle City because I read the manga. Beside Kingdom, I watched D-Sod and Pyramid of Light. Oh, so did you never watch like GX or anything then? I mean, because that completely changes everything. But yeah, for me, it was what was this? This was around here. This was above that. This was down here in B. This was up here. Yeah, I think this was how I had it. No GX 5Ds. Ah, I see. I suppose that explains then why you like Ra so much. Only duel who won Bakura. I mean, you don't need more duels. It's fine. But what we are going to do now is we are going to be calling it for today because we have done our 3 hours. We didn't end up playing any speed, but we are going to be raiding over into Monosync, who is doing the Tenchimu versus Frogs of Hanoi Rush Duel Dynasty League Season 1 Week 3. So we are going to jump over there. Manga Battle City is my favorite arc. Have you read... What was it? I forget what it's called. Yu-Gi-Oh! R, I think it is. Which was like a continuation, which was also really, really good. If you haven't read that, I would highly recommend reading that as well. But, thank you all so much for watching. We're going to be heading off now. We'll be back again on Tuesday. Goodbye!
Good face. as long as any team is not really lagging space.
Tomatus Souls just raided with 22 viewers.
Oh, thank you so much, Tomatos.